Hi, I'm Matt Garr with Midwest Transit, here to show you the safety and functional features of our MFSAB activity bus. One of the first things you'll notice here on the front is your crossing arm. And although we do not stop traffic with the activity buses, it is law as of July 1st, 2012 that all activity buses have the crossing gate. A couple of the aspects I would like to point out on the outside of this bus is your height and width. This bus is over 8 feet wide and over 9 feet tall, so you don't want to drive it through any overhangs, drive-throughs, banks, or anything like that. Again, 8 feet wide and over 9 feet tall. A great point of reference when driving it for the width is your mirrors. If the two front mirrors fit through, the rear of the bus will also fit through. As we move back to the back side here, I'll point out a couple things here on the driver's side. You've got your fuel fill here, air conditioner condenser there. It is good practice to rinse that out on a regular basis, once or twice a year, to keep dust and dirt from getting built up in there. As we come around to the back, I'll point out your emergency rear exit door. In case of an emergency, if you have to open this and use it, it does lock open. So you'll notice if you don't unlatch it, it will not close. If you just try to force it, you'll end up bending it. Reach up here, release that, and then you can close the door normally. Also here in the back of the bus, I'd like to point out, these are just regular tail and brake lights. You don't have any flashers because again, you're not stopping traffic. So these are just your regular backup, brake, and tail lights. Also on the back here, I'll point out, most of the newer models come with a backup camera that displays on your rear view mirror on the inside, but this is where the camera is actually located. So we can come around to the passenger side here. And if you have the new Collins model, inside the battery box, you also get a bonus little storage area. If you got sports bats, balls, nice little extra spot. Plus your battery box is in here and your shut off is also in here. So for summer breaks, Christmas breaks, if you shut that off, you won't come back to a dead bus. If you don't have the new model with the battery box here, sometimes the shut off is under the hood or even in the driver's side door area. So you might want to check with your school to see where that's at. All right, as you get on the bus, you'll notice it has a manual door. Some buses are equipped with electric doors. If they're equipped with an electric door, you'll have a manual release up here, usually a red lever that you click that allows you to push and pull the door open manually. This here pushes in, box closed. So in order to open it, push that up, pull it back up. You can push this door closed from the outside. Keep in mind, it will automatically click in and lock. I'll start from the back and work our way forward. We already touched on the emergency exit rear door. On the outside, same thing here. You open it up. If you swing it open, it will lock into place and you will have to release it here to get it to close. Once closed, latched down, and you're good to go. This door is also equipped with a vandal lock, so when the bus is not running and parked, you can click that and you won't be able to open it from the outside. Key note about this is the bus will not start if that is locked. So if you get in and you try to start the bus and it doesn't start, this is probably one of the first places to look. Also, if when you're driving the bus, a student or someone throws this lock across, it will sound a nice loud audible alarm to let you know. Also back here, you'll see your air conditioner, your rear air conditioner is back here. I'm going to touch on that when we get up front. There's some important information I need to give you about this. Also, we're going to talk about the Checkmate system later. This is your Checkmate system that we'll access later in the video. Before we move forward, I'll point out we have our storage area. Not all buses have this, but this one has a nice storage area for extra sports equipment and whatnot. I want to point out the emergency exits in the bus. You have 3, starting with your roof hatch. You pull this lever, push up, and this will pop out completely so you can exit the vehicle. Also, when it's not being used as an emergency exit, is a great source of ventilation. If when driving the bus you want to get a little airflow, push up the front, drop back 2 windows, and you'll get a nice airflow through here. Keep in mind, if you open it completely, you're not getting any airflow. It's just going to flow through the top. Or if you open the back and not the front, you're not going to get any airflow. So it's nice to open the front and pop a couple back windows down. When I'm talking about the windows here, they're all marked with red tape. That's legally. The bus is not supposed to have the windows down lower than that when driving. This bus, it's locked, so you can't get lower than that. Just keep that in mind. As we move forward, we've got our emergency exits on both sides. To open these, you pull the handle and it swings out. The window won't fall out, but it'll stay open so people can exit the vehicle this way. If this, just like the back door and the roof hatch, if they get opened while the bus is in use, it will sound a nice, loud, audible alarm. As I get up to the front, I'd like to point out your safety equipment. You've got flares and triangles behind the driver's seat. You've got a fire extinguisher and body fluid kit in the front corner there, and a first aid kit up top. Also, there's a nice storage compartment for the driver above the driver here. All right, now that we're in the driver's seat, just turn the vehicle on. I want to point out a few things. The air conditioner that I pointed out in the back a few moments ago, you cannot run that unless you're running the dash air conditioner. So you always want to have the dash AC on before you turn on the rear AC. So again, I'll hit that again. There's a nice reminder here as well. Do not run the rear AC unless you first have the dash AC turned on. So you turn the dash AC on just like your car. And again, a lot of the things that you're going to see right here are just like the car you drive at home. Very important to make sure you remember to have the front AC on if you turn the rear AC on. That is not warrantable. If you run the rear AC without the front AC, you will damage it, and that is not covered under warranty. So I'm going to start. The rear AC's fan switch is right here. So we're going to start on these switches and move across. So once you have the front AC on, you'll turn the rear AC on. Right next to that is our noise suppression switch. It is not law that you stop at a railroad crossing, but you should check with your school to see what your policies are for each school. If you are stopping at a railroad crossing, you can push the noise suppression switch. It'll cut all your fans, radio, and everything else so you can hear as well as see that it's clear. Also, we have our heat controls, so high heat in the front, low heat in the down, and then if you just leave it in the middle, it's off. You've got your mirror heaters, so you push those on, it'll defrost your rear view mirrors. Turn that off there. Also moving across here, we have your mirror controls. So driver's side has two options. The middle, it's off. If you turn it to the left, it will control the upper mirror. If you turn it to the right, it'll control the lower mirror. Same thing with your passenger side mirrors. It has two options, the lower and the upper. We also have your crossing arm cancel, so if you don't want that to swing out when you open the door, you can hit that. Now you may be dropping off at a school where there's someone parked in front of you, so you want to be able to shut that off so you can open the door. You also have your strobe light that you can turn on in the top. Check with your school to see when they want you to have that on and when they don't. That's going to be particular to your school district. You've got your driver's dome light, and then you've got your dome lights for the rest of the bus. Also, something I'd like to point out is you do have a couple power options here. You've got two of your old school cigarette lighter type power supplies, and then you have a plug-in. They don't recommend that you run anything too major on this plug-in. Same things that you would run here, you can run here. Just different options for the plug. You have your traction control. You can turn on and off. I would recommend leaving that on. Talk to your district about when you should turn that off. All right, one of the most important parts of this video is the child checkmate system. In order to shut that off without the bus sounding the alarm, the lights, and the horn, I'm going to go over how to do that. Keep in mind, you can also see the instructions right above there. If you don't get it right the first time, don't panic. Shut the bus off, start it back up, and start the process over. But we'll start now. First thing you do, shut the bus off. Once all the way off, you hear the alarm. Turn it back to the on position without starting the engine. And then you'll head to the back of the bus where I showed you the switch earlier. And you just push this button until you hear that beeping. Once you've heard that beeping, you're all set. You can come back up, shut the key all the way off, and exit the vehicle. Like I mentioned, on the outside of the bus, your backup camera will display in your rear view mirror. So as you can see, it displays your video and audio. So you'll be able to see behind the bus and hear what's going on back there. As you can see, camera gives you visibility and it has audio, as you can hear. Once again, it's Matt Garr with Midwest Transit. I want to thank you for taking some time to let me show you how the safety and functionality works on our MFSAB activity bus. Have a great day.